give us knowledge, make good decisions for the city of Cambridge and the business at hand. Lord, we just ask that you would help us to make this a great place to live in Jesus' name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, let's have a roll call, please.
Conaway.
Here.
Evancho.
Here.
Loffman.
Here.
McMillan.
Here.
Mauer.
Here.
Wolverton.
Here.
Zaleski.
Here.
And reading of the minutes. Don?
I make a motion we dispense reading minutes, place on file.
Mike?
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. Ayes carry that. And how about the mayor's report tonight?
We got a few things here. Good afternoon, everybody. Turned out to be a pretty nice day with only one big storm in the middle there. It was a Monday today, so we got a lot going on out there. There's a lot trying to go on. It's that time of the year. So number one on our sheet here, request from the engineer, A, to submit an SS4A application. B, to appropriate $1,350 for engineering supplies. C, to enter into executive session to discuss storm water fee contract. 2 on your list, request from utilities directors for fund transfers and appropriations. And 3, this is probably for me, request to discuss contribution to Cambridge Main Street.
All right, thank you, Mayor. We'll refer all those to the Finance Committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Council President. I have a few things here, and I'll try to take my time here, make sure I don't miss them. In about the next 30 days, we're going to start an adventure on 3 major projects on top of everything else you see going on out there. So the trail will start getting really going. What that entails, I'm not going to get into specifics, but this is a huge 4+ almost $5 million effort. It's going to come from the trail currently on High Avenue into Cambridge, up East Wheeling, into where the old jail and police station was. That's going to be the head of it. I've got with the gazebo over the side in partnership with area agency, and there's a lot going, a lot of moving parts. So that baby's getting ready to do it. And then one you don't hear a lot about, but it's huge, Fifth Street culvert. It's going to be coming in like a 2-part bridge type thing. That's going to be down in the Fifth Street area over the run there. And then we're going to start our paving up on the north end on top of all, we saw a couple weeks ago how that was going in a couple areas. So we'll be busy. Wait till we get that going. But anyhow, it's all positive stuff. And then next up on my list, of course, Boomerang is 3.5 weeks out. We'll be on the radio again. Money's been coming in really well. But again, always getting nervous, that last push. So I just want to put that out there. Talked to the shooter last week. I went out and talked to Tim. We called him on speakerphone. And the shooter was like, I don't get a whole lot of calls from like people in the towns a month in advance. I said, well, we're a little different around here. We just want to make sure things go off the way they're supposed to. And more on that later, but pass that on. This next thing just thrilled me to death. I thought good for our town. Again, the impact of these type things, people don't think sometimes, but Zoe Caldwell, senior from Cambridge High School, won the 100 meters at the state school record. Anyone that ran track or anything competition like that, at that level of concentration to pull that off like that in a split flash of an eye, that's just an incredible accomplishment. And the fact that it had a Bobcat on her shirt,
Amen.
standing there in blue and white on top of the pedestal. I texted her coach, Tamara Gibson, and I told him all the way. And Adrena Gibson also ran up there, and she's a junior. And she's had an incredible run this year to get better and I think what she saw, knowing what I think I know about the Gibson group, she'll be ready to go next year too, along with some other young eyes are watching. That's the best part. Young people's watching that. It's positive. We need more of that in just about every place. The pool, of course, is finally in high gear. The Tasty Read, I mentioned it before, but again, when I go out in that area in the last 10 days, it's just incredible how that's flowing out through there. And I just want to say thanks to everybody and the people renting them pavilions and different things. We just, a little tidbit, Tom Lanning and the engineer went out, met with James Green down in the valley where we're gonna hopefully expand the cemetery. And they talked about a road going in, what does that look like? That's not gonna be a small effort by any means. Right now, they're gonna drill a couple samples, core samples to see what the, water saturation and different things. We gotta be careful what we get into sometimes. Just keeping you informed. And then just so you know, out the window there tonight, All Well opened up today for business, and they had clients coming and going out of there. Of course, there's gonna be some sign efforts and different things we gotta talk about on finishing up some things, and I'm sure there'll be a more formal effort on their end, but. And then I did get a tidbit today, came over the computer first thing this morning, and I screamed out loud, the land bank got their money. So with the county and the city in Byesville,
Yeah.
we're gonna be able to work on the list that pre-existed. Now, don't start adding stuff, and what about this and that? We got plenty of efforts out there, but the ones that existed on the list, and the state knocked a couple off, and there's a couple of these properties, I'm not even gonna read the addresses, that people have bought or done something with since, so we'll remove those, and we have an existing list that'll move up on the list.
Yeah.
But I'm just one person, I'm just saying, this kind of effort on that with the county is huge, so, enough, that's all I have on that end.
Thank you, Mayor. Anybody have any questions for Mayor this evening?
Not a question, just a follow-up to what he said with regards to Allwell. I've already taken a couple of phone calls. The Amos Way, you all will recall that you did vacate it and make it one-way. So that's just a reminder to our residents that it is open, but it is one-way only for that one block. So just as a reminder, and I'm sure they'll see that with the way the parking is, like you can't really, you could go the other way, but it's going to be tight, but it is one way, so.
Sharon brought that up today. Good point, Sharon. She said somebody over there called in to ask her about some things, and whoever shortcutted and went the wrong direction and went over the curb and really made a boom boom on the car, and probably still talking about that one.
Yeah.
Probably hear more of it, too.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Mayor. All right, we don't have anything from the city attorney this evening, I'm assuming, and we will go to communications.
Yes, request from the auditor to make an appropriation of the ARPA funds, and I believe he said this is the last of it to cover some street improvement projects.
Okay. Need a motion to send it to finance?
Motion to refer to finance.
Brian?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign, and ayes carry that.
I have the zoning and planning minutes from the June the 4th hearing.
Okay.
Motion to accept and place on file.
John?
I'll second that motion.
And all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have that. And,
And I have the monthly report from the auditor and the treasurer.
okay, Tom?
Motion to accept and place on file.
Kim?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Ayes carry that as well. Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
That's it on that. All right. Let's go to reports and committees.
Report of Finance Committee, June the 2nd, we recommend that council adopt a resolution determining to proceed with the 3.9 mil fire levy.
Okay. Any questions on that report? Hearing none.
Report of Finance Committee, June the 2nd, we recommend that council authorize the administration to apply for a small city grant with ODOT.
Any questions on that report? Hearing none.
Report of Finance Committee, June the 2nd, we recommend that council authorize the administration to advertise and award the Wheeling Avenue Extension Project.
Any questions on that report? Hearing none.
Report of Finance Committee, June the 2nd, we recommend that council authorize the administration to enter into an agreement with U.S. Bridge for Wheeling Avenue Extension.
Any questions on that report? Hearing none.
Report of Finance Committee, June the 2nd, we recommend that council approve allocation of bed tax funds for capital improvement purchase.
Any questions on that report? Hearing none.
Report of Finance Committee, June the 2nd, we recommend that the following transfers and appropriations be approved. Appropriate $20,000 to EMS miscellaneous, transfer $4,000 from EMS workers' comp to EMS supplies, transfer $7,000 from EMS workers' comp to fire maintenance, appropriate $967.50 to police fuel.
Okay. Any questions on that report? Hearing none.
Report of Legislative Committee, June the 2nd, we recommend that council adopt an ordinance to establish public nuisance abatement.
Any questions on that report? All right, we'll move on to unfinished business, which probably don't have any of that either. And audience portion looks pretty thin tonight as well. And how about new business? We don't have any of that as well. And it looks like we are moving right on to ordinances and resolutions then.
A resolution determining to proceed with the submission to the electors of the question of levying a tax in excess of the 10 mil limitation.
Okay, Tom,
Motion to suspend.
Brian,
Second.
okay, roll call.
Conaway.
Yes.
Wolverton.
Yes.
Loffman.
Yes.
Mauer.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Zaleski.
Yes.
Steve,
Motion to pass.
Second the motion to pass.
any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Zaleski.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Mauer.
Yes.
Loffman.
Yes.
Wolverton.
Yes.
Conaway.
Yes.
And that ordinance is declared adopted.
An ordinance authorizing the administration to apply for a small city grant with the Ohio Department of Transportation.
John,
Motion to suspend?
Mike,
Second that.
okay, roll call.
Mauer.
Yes.
Zaleski.
Yes.
Conaway.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Wolverton.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Loffman.
Yes.
Brian,
Motion to pass.
Kim,
Second to pass?
okay, any discussion on that? Hearing none, roll call.
Zaleski.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Mauer.
Yes.
Loffman.
Yes.
Wolverton.
Yes.
Conaway.
Yes.
And that motion is declared adopted.
An ordinance authorizing the administration to advertise and award Wheeling Avenue Extension Project.
Brian,
Motion to suspend?
Tom,
Second to suspend.
roll call.
Zaleski.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Loffman.
Yes.
Wolverton.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Conaway.
Yes.
Mauer.
Yes.
Okay, Steve,
Motion to pass.
Second the motion to pass?
any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Mauer.
Yes.
Conaway.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Wolverton.
Yes.
Loffman.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Zaleski.
Yes.
And that motion is declared adopted.
An ordinance authorizing the administration to enter into an agreement with U.S. Bridge for Wheeling Avenue Extension.
Brian,
Motion to suspend?
Second.
roll call.
Conaway.
Yes.
Wolverton.
Yes.
Loffman.
Yes.
Mauer.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Zaleski.
Yes.
John,
Motion to pass?
Steve,
Second the motion.
any discussion on that? Hearing none, roll call.
Zaleski.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Mauer.
Yes.
Loffman.
Yes.
Wolverton.
Yes.
Conaway.
Yes.
Okay, and that motion is declared adopted.
An ordinance of transfers and appropriations.
Tim,
Motion to suspend?
John,
Second to suspend?
okay, roll call.
Mauer.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Zaleski.
Yes.
Conaway.
Yes.
Wolverton.
Yes.
Loffman.
Yes.
Brian,
Motion to pass?
Tom,
Second the motion.
any discussion on that? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Loffman.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Wolverton.
Yes.
Conaway.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Zaleski.
Yes.
Mauer.
Yes.
Okay, and that motion is declared adopted.
An ordinance approving allocation of bed tax funds for capital improvement purchase.
John,
Motion to suspend?
Tim,
I'll second the motion.
roll call.
Evancho.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Conaway.
Yes.
Wolverton.
Yes.
Mauer.
Yes.
Loffman.
Yes.
Zaleski.
Yes.
Well, three of you. Brian was at first.
Thanks. Motion to pass?
I'll take Kim second.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on that? Hearing none, we'll go with roll call.
Zaleski.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Loffman.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Wolverton.
Yes.
Conaway.
Yes.
Mauer.
Yes.
That motion is declared adopted.
An ordinance establishing public nuisance abatement.
First reading.
Yes, that'll be placed on for second reading at the next meeting.
Okay, and that's about all we have for that then. Okay, looks like we're heading on to miscellaneous here. Tim?
Yes, Finance Committee will meet next Monday, June 16th at 4:30.
And committee as a whole will meet at 4:45 or shortly after that. Anybody else have anything for miscellaneous? Yes, ma'am.
I just have some fluff. We have Captain Ferguson sitting back there, and since the last meeting, he has become a grandpa again, a beautiful baby little girl.
Congratulations.
She's one of our officers, so she's on maternity leave, but looking already when to come back, but welcoming a new healthy baby little girl.
Congratulations.
Anybody else have anything? I just want to add one. This week coming up is a bike show downtown. That's going to be a big event. They're blocking off a lot of space downtown. Plenty of, I'll cover you. I got your back. We're going to cover that. And then also, I want to say kind of hats off to Kevin and Sally Ritz taking over the United Way and a big weekend event that they put together down to Country Club. Yeah, they raised some good money down there. Great community, great giving community, and just thank everybody for their efforts and what they've done down there. It's definitely not unnoticed or unappreciated for what they've done. So, with that, Johnny,
I'll make a motion we adjourn.
we are adjourned. They are doing a wonderful job. Yes.
I'm glad it was well attended. I didn't